Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
So Hare Krishna, everybody. Thank you for coming today. He's blocking you. You should come in the front at least. What is... Okay. So today our topic is on the holy name. Our greatest shelter in Kali-Yuga. Is that how you advertised it? So we'll talk about it. Just an introduction, like the central theme of what Srila Prabhupada taught, that in this Kali-Yuga, in this age, there's no other way than chanting the holy name. So the holy name is not merely a spiritual practice. The holy name is our shelter, our protection, our purification, our association with Krishna, our means of perfection, our life and soul. So that is the holy name. The essence of Kali-Yuga religion is Nam Sankirtan, the holy name. Chanting of the holy names. So how do we understand this? The characteristics of Kali-Yuga. Like in the Bhagavatam, in the 12th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated, Kalo dis dose nidaraja. So Kali-Yuga is an ocean of faults. And what are the faults? The major symptoms: quarrel, hypocrisy, anxiety, lust, greed, materialism, broken relationships, so many things, short memory, weak determination, anger, spiritual confusion. These are the things that we have, the characteristics of Kali-Yuga. And if you see, modern civilization now is simply increasing what? Anxiety. It's anxiety. So this traditional, why does this traditional process become difficult? Why does it become difficult? Like in the Satya Yuga, in the golden age, it was meditation. People lived for a long time. In the next age, it was called Treta Yuga. And in that age, we had fire sacrifice. Then we had the third age, Dwarapa Yuga, temple worship. And in Kali Yuga, we have the holy name. So in the 12th canto again, Srila Prabhupada always quotes this verse, and it's been often quoted, Kirtanad eva Krishnasya mukta sangha param vrajat. That simply by chanting their names, one becomes liberated. Just by chanting the holy names of Krishna. So, so why would Krishna make the easiest process available in this worst age? Why does he make it available? Why is it so simple to chant? He gives an easy process in this difficult age because people cannot engage in meditation. Like right now you're sitting, you're thinking of so many things other than what I'm talking about. So many different things. So why? So why the holy name is the Yuga Dharma? Why is it the Dharma for this day and age? So Lord Chaitanya, his declaration was that, it's in a scripture called the Brihad Narada Purana, Harinama, Harinama, Harinama eva kevalam, kalo naste eva naste eva naste eva naste, eva gatir anyata. No other way, no other way, no other way. So there's no other way, but why 3 times? Why does he repeat it 3 times? Because human beings are very stubborn. Therefore the scripture repeats it 3 times. But the solution for Kali-Yuga is singular. Not meditation, not speculation, not austerity, not material advancement. So what it is? The holy name. So you have to get the holy name. And the holy name was Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. And you must try to read the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila. So Lord Chaitanya specifically descended to distribute this love of God, the holy name. So this movement, this Hare Krishna movement or the ISKCON movement, is fundamentally a movement of chanting. Got it? See, like you were chanting in the beginning? So we'll chant again in the end a little bit. So it's about chanting. The holy name is not different from Krishna. And that's the most important philosophical foundation we should operate from. Just like there's a verse in the Padma Purana, Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. The holy name is Krishna himself. So what does this mean? People often say, or the devotees say, it's non-different. What does this mean? When we chant, we are not calling a distant God. When we're chanting, like we were chanting just now, we are directly associating with Krishna. You can feel it, isn't it? Just like how fire burns and sugar sweetens, the holy name acts spiritually. So you feel it. And so Srila Prabhupada's example was, if you touch fire knowingly or unknowingly, you're burnt. So if one chants knowingly or unknowingly, the holy name acts. You know? So if Krishna is in his name, then how should we approach our japa? How we should approach our chanting? So let's have a discussion on that. If Krishna is present in his name, how should we approach our japa? With love? Yes. With love. Anybody else? With attention. We'll talk about it a little later. So, the mercy of the holy name. So the name doesn't consider qualification. He's got PhD, he's got MAD or whatever it is, degree. You know? Masters of Administration, whatever it is. Med degree or whatever. But whatever, it does not consider that. So and Prabhupada give the example of Ajamil. You often quote to this example, Ajamil. And Ajamil in the end, he was calling out his son's name Narayan. But when he called Narayan, the Vishnu Dutas appeared. They appeared. So what is the lesson that we learn from that? The holy name is independent, merciful, and powerful. What are the 3 things? Powerful. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada often used this example as proof of how the holy name works. The holy name. So we should take advantage. Another example which we often hear is Jaga and Mother. They were drunkards, they were women hunters, they were violent offenders, but yet they were transformed by the Nam Sankirtan, just by chanting the holy name. So no one is too fallen, and no one is beyond redemption. No one is too fallen. The holy name creates saints from sinners. So even if you're not saintly and you don't have, attraction for the holy name, and even if you're a sinner, you can still be freed from it just by the holy name, by chanting Hare Krishna. So what does the holy name do? Every morning in our temple we used to recite this, Chaitodharpanam Marjanam, these 8 verses by Lord Chaitanya. It cleanses the heart. Chaito Darpanam Marjanam. The mirror of the heart is covered by what? You tell me. Lust, anger, envy, pride, illusion. What else? Huh? Ego. Ego. Yes, ego. So the holy name, the heart is covered with this dust. But you need to cleanse it. So what happens when you start what happens when you start chanting? Gradually the lust becomes what? Love. The anger becomes determination. The greed becomes eagerness for Krishna. You become greedy for Krishna. And your pride becomes humility. And envy becomes appreciation. So when you appreciate, you're not envious. But there's a tendency to appreciate somebody and still be envious. Externally, Oh, you did well, but inside you're burning. Get it? So envy becomes appreciation. Well, so Srila Prabhupada's formula was very simple. Chant and hear. Not merely chant, but chant and hear. So you must, when you chant the holy names, you hear it. Even if you hear one name of Krishna in the 16 rounds of chanting, it's your benefit. Even if you just hear Krishna's name once, Krishna, your benefit. So it starts clearing that dust from the heart. And you have to hear very attentively, because the ears are the gateway. So what are the greatest coverings currently blocking our relationship with Krishna? What is it? What is blocking your relationship with Krishna? What do you think? False ego? Not envious, huh? No. You don't want to say that, huh?
Illusion.
Illusion, huh? Anybody else? What is stopping? What is blocking that relationship with Krishna? When we chant, we don't feel it. It's just like a mechanical thing.
It's illusion.
Yeah. But all what we describe, like lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, these becoming the stumbling blocks to you actually hearing Krishna's name. So what does the holy name do? Because we're taking shelter of the holy name. The holy name protects the devotee. Protects the devotee. Like protection in Kali-Yuga, we face so much. And the material energy, maya, social pressure, temptation, doubts, fear, what else? These are things. But the holy name becomes that spiritual armor. It becomes your armor. It protects you. So we just call out the name. Just like, in the Mahabharata, when Draupadi's example, she was holding on to the sari, and then gradually she left and just surrendered to Krishna. So when she surrendered completely to Krishna, the protection came. So the protection will come when you surrender. Just like another example in the scriptures, in the Bhagavatam, is about Gajendra, the elephant, was in a helpless condition. But he called out to the Lord for protection, and he received that protection. So whenever, our practical application is whenever we disturbed or we tempted to do something wrong, or we're fearful or we're angry, we should take shelter of the holy name immediately. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Keep chanting. You just keep chanting. So you have to come to that, you have to now advance. Now, you're taking shelter of the holy name. You have to come to that level of where you're chanting without offenses, because that's the greatest obstacle. Not lack of round, not lack of knowledge, but offenses, mainly offenses. And we hear this often, we're so tired of hearing it. There are 10 offenses. What are, in short, every morning we recite it: blaspheming devotees, considering the demigods equal to Krishna, disobeying the Guru, criticizing the scriptures, interpreting the holy name, committing sins on the strength of the holy name, instructing faithless people to chant. And you sometimes equate the chanting with pious activities. Also inattention, you're not attentive, and material attachment. Despite hearing so much of glories of the holy name, there's still attachment. Those are the real obstacles. Got it? So these are, like blaspheming devotees, you're always talking about somebody good and bad, both things. So, yes, So special emphasis is like on that inattention. So that is the root problem. And the mind begins to wander. And then you're just chanting on your beads mechanically. Hear it? It's not really you chanting, but it's mechanical. Make sense? So then what are the solution? So the solution is hear every syllable. Try to. But even if you hear one syllable, it's fine. And you slow down. You pray before chanting, please give me the mercy to chant because my mind runs away. Can you bring it back, please, dear Krishna? Mind is running away. And you avoid distraction and you beg for this mercy. This is how you get this ability to chant with attention. That's when it have that effect. So this is something that you also have to do. The mood of chanting. What is the mood? The mood you're chanting. There's a verse in the Shisastikam, verse number 3. Tinarapi sunichena, taroreva sahisnena, amanina manedena, kirtanya sadahari. So we have to chant the holy name. There's a couple of qualifications. You must be humble. Like what? Like the grass. When you press the grass, it doesn't protest. You must be tolerant like a tree. A tree is, tolerating the rain, the storm, and it's out there for hundreds of years. So you have to tolerate all these things. And tolerance is not easy. Sometimes we can get upset, we can't tolerate people. And then the third one, we must not have no desire for honor. And you must be ready to offer honor to others. So these are the qualifications for becoming steady in your practices or your mood of chanting. That's what it is. Why these qualities attract the holy name? Because pride blocks the sound, the divine sound. But when you be humble, it attracts that mercy. So you be humble. Once I'm proud, I can chant Hare Krishna and you walk around like a king. You won't be able to do it. You have to have that humility. Then the other points are, there's so much to discuss on this thing. You can go a whole night discussing only on the chanting. And japa as a personal meeting with Krishna. We want to meet Krishna. So this japa is not a ritual. Let me just quickly chant one round and leave the bead back. No. It's not a duty alone. It is a meeting with Krishna. That's what this japa is. When you pick your bead bag up, that is what it meant. Now I'm going to meet Krishna. Got it? Okay? We're meeting Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada's instructions to the devotees was rise early, chant attentively, listen carefully, pray sincerely, and depend on Krishna. Those are his instructions. Rise early, chant attentively, listen carefully, and pray sincerely and depend on Krishna. Just depend on Krishna. And then, when chanting, you can reflect, am I calling Krishna? Am I listening? Am I begging to get Krishna? Am I really present with Krishna? These are the things we should reflect on. Even after chanting, we'll say, I chanted all these rounds, but I was not attentive. And you do this, you try this. The other way to better, also your chanting, is Sankirtan. The mercy movement, we call it. Mercy movement. This is like Lord Chaitanya's revolution. It's not a private salvation. Not private. What it is public compassion. Because we're going out and we're giving it to others. It's public compassion. So why is this so powerful? Why congregational chanting is so powerful? You know why? Many hearts unite. Many people come together, hearts unite. And then the faith increases. And when that faith increases, the enthusiasm increases. And then the mercy flows powerfully. Sometimes you forget where you are when you enter these harinams, these programs. This is Lord Chaitanya's movement. So Srila Prabhupada, he had this global mission around the world, from one person, hundreds of temples, millions hearing Hare Krishna, across the ocean. All his books are in different languages for people of different cultures, different faiths, all chanting Hare Krishna. So gradually, we're coming more and more deeper into the shelter of the holy name. Now, the holy name and Prema. Prema means love, the ultimate goal. So our goal is not to get liberated. Our goal is not to get mystic powers or material improvement. So what is our goal? Love of God. That's the goal. Prema Dana, this wealth, love of God. So our goal, we chanted to develop that love for Krishna. And in another text, in the fourth text of the Shastakam, it talks about what you also have to give up. Na danam, na janam, na sundarim. You don't desire wealth, you don't want followers, you don't want material enjoyment. These are three things that you don't want: wealth, followers, and material enjoyment. We shouldn't be looking for followers. It's a very subtle thing. You can be singing and looking for followers. You can be speaking and you want people to follow you. Those things you have to give up. We all have to give it up. This material wealth, followers, material enjoyment. We only want devotion. What do we want? Devotion. So in this development of love of God, there are so many stages. Shraddha means faith. Sadhu Sangha means associating with devotees. Bhajana Kriya means you take initiation. And after that, all those unwanted things start coming out from our consciousness, our heart. Then we become a little fixed. We reach the level of Nishtha. Then we, after becoming a little steady, then we start developing taste. Ruchi, we get this taste. Then we develop attachment, ashakti. And slowly we come to the next level like that is bhava. And bhava is like the preliminary stage of love of Godhead. It's like the sun is just rising. That rising of the sun is bhava. Because once it rises, that's pure love, prema. So the holy name carries the devotee through every stage. His faith is increasing. This is all faith, what I described, from one stage to the next. So as you move along, you develop taste. So then comes like the final test of life at death. What will save you? People say, I got so much of wealth. Not your wealth. Not even your reputation. Not all what you possess. What will save you? Your remembrance for Krishna. Your remembrance of Krishna. That will save you. So in the Gita it mentioned, whoever remembers Krishna at the time of death attains him. So how do we remember? Because remembrance is not an easy thing. It's not so easy. See, like we have Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. Shravanam, hearing. Kirtanam, chanting, and Smaranam means remembering. That's the third stage. So if you're chanting, you may not be remembering slow. See, it's an advanced stage. So how do we remember Krishna? So daily, chanting becomes like that preparation for the final exam. And that final exam is called death. Before we die, we can chant Hare Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada's, essential instruction on the holy name: chant every day, yea, attentively. Avoid offenses, associates with devotees, and serve sincerely. Depend on Krishna. Never give up your chanting and distribute the holy name. So the more you distribute the holy name, more and more people get attracted to the holy name. Chanting, dancing. So Kali-Yuga is very dark. It's a very dark age. But the holy name is brighter than millions of suns. Because it's Krishna. You just chant Hare Krishna, everything will be taken away from us. Health, wealth, position, relationships. But if we possess the holy name, you got everything. You got everything. And this is not a very complicated process. We have received this treasure in the disciplic succession, this chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. And if we chant it like that, that is our shelter. That is our wealth. That is our protection. That is our perfection. And this is our life. So it's very simple, this whole process. Chanting Hare Krishna. So you chant like this. We'll stop here. We'll take questions on this and we can have a little discussion. And then we'll have Guru Puja. Yeah. Any questions? Okay, yes?
How can we avoid offenses?
Yeah, see, it's like, how can we avoid the offenses whilst chanting? It's like a difficult process. Because while you're chanting, you're offending. And it's very difficult because it's inside you. Say for example, you're thinking bad of somebody. You're envious of somebody. And then every beat you chant, somehow you're thinking, something will happen to this person, I hope he dies or something like that. There's so many things you're thinking of. It's true, right? These are the type of things you'll think of. So the best way is to associate with people who have taste for this name. So when you are in the association of people who have taste for this name, you start imbibing those qualities. By that association, it reflects on you. And then it'll help you. That's one. Two, you chant in the front, the presence of Tulsi Devi, and she fulfills all desires, and you pray to her. in the morning, pray to her and tell her, well, my chanting is very bad. Please help me to overcome these offenses. When I'm chanting, at least today give me a break. Let me chant and hear the holy name. So you'll see it'll change. So chanting around Tulsi Devi. And offenses have to be avoided. And you can also, have your journal. You write everything in your journal. Today, I thought of Mr. So-and-so too much in my chanting. I'm very envious of this person and things like that. Somehow pray to Shingadev to remove this obstacle for you. And then the obstacle will be removed. Because the Shingadev removes all those obstacles and clears your path to go back to Krishna. So you can do that also. The other way is, the best way is to associate with people who chant purely and who's got a little taste, will help you very much. Yeah. Is that okay? Anybody else? Yes.
So they say the soul is Satchit Ananda.
Sat means eternal, Chittananda, eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss.
And some people give the idea that the soul is pure. So where are these impurities? They are in the mind?
No, the impurities are coming because you have this body. You have this temporary body. But you are stuck in this body. You're entangled in this body. So it's like projected through it. See, your senses are pure. But because they projected through these eyes, there's impurity. For example, like if you look at, like you go to the robot, there's green, there's amber, there's orange, and what's the other one? Red. They're different colors. But if you take those caps off, all are the same. Same color. So it's only being reflected through that body, that component, that glass. So similarly, this is like our senses, everything is pure, the soul is pure. But because it's projected to this body, it becomes impure. Huh? It's material. So what's your question again?
No, you answered. I was asking about which part is impure. So the soul is pure, and where's all these impurities? Are they in the mind?
Yes, because see, your impurities, just like the example Prabhupada gave, is like, you get rainwater coming. So when the rainwater is coming, it's pure. But when it hits the ground, it becomes muddy. Then, you can take that same water, that same, like that mud, and then you can strain it and you'll get the water pure again. So the same process we apply, we apply the process of bhakti to purify ourselves, because we landed in this world with this impure body, and now we can purify ourselves and spiritualize our body by the process of the chanting of Hare Krishna.
Maybe comment on this comment that I'm going to make. So, if it's the mind that's the problem, what if I just put it aside and continue with the spiritual practice? Because I think changing the mind is harder than engaging in positive spiritual action.
Yeah.
Is that like a cop-out, or is that a legitimate approach?
You see, the mind, I just want to read from the Gita. What it says is that 634, and today Smita was talking a little bit from the thing about it. Get to that. 634. He talks about the mind is restless. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna. It's chanchalam. The mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong. O Krishna, and to subdue it, I think it is more difficult than controlling the wind. You know, the wind, can we control the wind? We can't even control the wind. Can you imagine what the mind is? The mind is such an amazing, the mind is actually a storehouse of all your thoughts from millions of lifetimes. That's what the mind is. This present life and past life. It's just a storehouse. And the mind is in the region of the heart. It's not there, today we were people were saying it's here. It's not there, it's here. All those desires are situated in the region of the heart. Like you say, I'm feeling, what do you point at? At your heart. That's where all the mind is. So the mind is very restless. The mind is so strong, obstinate, that it sometimes overcomes the intelligent, although the mind is supposed to be subservient to the intelligent. For a man in the practical world who has to fight so many opposing elements, it is certainly very difficult to control the mind. Artificially, one may establish mental equilibrium toward both friend and enemy, but ultimately, no worldly man can do so, for this is more difficult than controlling the raging wind. So you can understand from this, the mind is it's very powerful. You can't say, I'm going to leave it aside. It'll follow you. You can't say, I'm going to leave it aside and I'm just going to focus. You have to, with your intelligence, you have to conquer the mind. It's very obstinate, it's stubborn. And then Prabhupada says in the end, which I'll read, he says, and even if it is more difficult to capture the turbulent wind, the easiest way to control the mind, as suggested by Lord Chaitanya, is chanting Hare Krishna, the great mantra for deliverance in all humility. That's the way. That's how it is done. So if you chant Hare Krishna, you can conquer the mind. But then in the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, towards the end, he says, right towards the end of the 3rd chapter, he says, this is the verse. Thus knowing oneself to be transcendental to the material senses, mind and intelligence, O mighty armed Arjuna, one should steady the mind. Not leave it aside, must steady it. Steady the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence. By deliberate spiritual intelligence, which is Krishna consciousness, and thus by spiritual strength, conquer that insatiable enemy known as lust. Got it?
Can you read it one more time? Sorry.
Yeah, see, thus knowing oneself to be transcendental to the material senses. The soul is transcendental, right? That's us. Mind and intelligence, it's transcendental to the mind. These material senses, mind and intelligence, are all on the material elements. Almighty armed Arjuna, one should steady the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence. That's Krishna consciousness. And thus by spiritual strength, conquer this insatiable enemy known as lust. Makes sense, right? You have to deliberate, which you have to conquer it within your intelligence. But what happens to the mind? It overpowers the intelligence and controls you. But you with your intelligence supposed to overpower the mind. It's working reverse. So there's so much of information from your question. It's actually a very good question. The mind is always chanchala. Yes.
The mind now is restless. Now our youth are taking substances. In a way, they're trying to control the mind, isn't
Oh, really? Yeah? By the substances.
Substance abuse.
it? Tablets.
I know what you're talking
Yeah. Is it? They're trying to.
about. You see, it's temporary. Like you may take some substance, you may take some drugs or thing, and then it's like subsides.
Yes.
The person is calm. Hey, all of a sudden, this fellow is so quiet. He must be a very nice, humble fellow. This, but yeah. So then, after a while, again, when it's completely subsided, and then he goes to have it again. So, Prabhupada told us, these devotees, they were taking drugs and things like that. And he said, because they use this terminology, stay high.
You said it today.
Yeah, but stay high forever in Krishna consciousness. When you're in Krishna consciousness, you're always on the high. Yeah, so stay high. Yeah, stay high forever. Stay high. Stay high forever. Yeah. Yes, Sir Tando Prabhu.
So what you're saying is the foundation of Krishna consciousness or the basis of Bhakti Yoga is chanting, because chanting is essentially associating with Krishna. So we have to do it with sincerity and being attentive. And also my question is, how do we develop a taste in a sense that we stop these three obstacles? I'm going to name the three main obstacles: anger, greed, and lust. How do we tackle them in order so that we can associate properly with Krishna and elevate so we can reach Krishna Prema?
Yes, like anger, lust, and greed. One has to see when you study this Shastika, like that third verse, Chinaripi Sunichaina, Terorava Sahisnina, Amanina Manadena, Kirtanya Sadahari. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than a straw in the street, more humble than a blade of grass. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name constantly. So if you're chanting the holy name constantly, that's actually the third stage. And this is the third verse. That stage equates to, we're talking from Shraddha to Prema. That equates with Nishta, where one is fixed. But even at that stage, when one is fixed, his mind will run away. And then you bring it back. Although he is fixed, even at that stage, at least if you come to that stage of chanting, Nishta, you're very good. So, you carry on doing that, but there are obstacles, even at that level of Nishta. People have disinterest sometimes in the holy name. Disinterest, they sleep during the program, they sleep while they're chanting. There's so many obstacles, but it's still on a high level. You get it? It's not on a low level, it's on a high level, but you're still experiencing this thing. So it's not gone completely. Then you have after Nishta, Ruchi, you get taste. So when you get taste, automatically, like if you think of material things, automatically your mind will run to Krishna. Get it? It's like that. It's you got a level of taste, but even then, you're not really fixed. So you can imagine now, when will the day come when the mind is fixed on Krishna? So it takes a little while. As Ruchi, you have taste. Like for example, you'll have some impediments there too. Like the impediment may be, hey, who's singing today? Who's going to do the kirtan? Ravindra Swarup or somebody. But actually, the person who doesn't know how to sing must sing. You get it? Because you are attracted to the name only when it's sounds beautiful. So that's an impurity. You're not attracted to Krishna, who's the person. Krishna and the name is no different. So you're attracted to the musical instruments that enhances the holy name. Get it? So that's an impurity, even at that level. But a person who's advanced will appreciate both. The person who's using the instruments and the person who's not singing beautifully. It's just like he doesn't know how to sing. But that fellow is singing for the pleasure of Krishna, the fellow who doesn't know how to sing. The other person is singing to attract the opposite sex. Get it?
There's one very nice comical.
Well, let me finish this answer. You can tell us later that one. So the thing is, you're getting see even in that level now, we reached a high level now. But still these are the disturbances. Then as you reach attachment, ashakti, then those things start going away. And you may hear Krishna's flute at that point. You get it? So then you know that, now it's like, I'm on a high stage now. Ashakti. Then the next level is called bhava. So if you offended devotees, that offense is not eradicated even at that level. At bhava, at this level, that offenses are not eradicated. It's only eradicated when you reach Prema, then that offense is eradicated. Got it? So your mind, you'll have challenges throughout the journey, but there's different experiences you have at different stages. So right now, you may be in the lower stage, but sometimes you feel like you're in the higher stage. That feeling. And true, you may experience it, but it's not permanent. It's for that moment. Make sense? So it's like that. Yes, what's your say, brother?
With this Prabhu's question about the mind, Srila Prabhupada gives a good example. It's like a bridegroom thinking about his wife. In India, they go along the river to go to the bride's house. So they get in the boat in the night, and they all start going. So he's thinking about his wife and his wedding and everything. Next morning, the sun comes up the sea, and they're still in the same spot. They realize, well, the boatman forgot to take out the anchor. So this question about attachment.
Yeah, you see, attachment is not easy. Even Queen Kunti was praying to Lord Krishna to to break it, ties of affection. Although the Pandavas were pure devotees, they were devotees. Because even for them you may have a slight material attachment to. So it's quite deep. Anything else, or we'll close after that?
Yes, I was going to ask Prabhu that when you're chanting and your eyes closes for a minute and you quickly get up.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean it's very spiritual, because maybe you're tired, you didn't sleep well.
No, it happens a few times.
But you see Krishna at the time.
Look, I imagine them dancing.
Huh?
I imagine them dancing.
Oh, yeah.
So my eyes just closes for the minute and I quickly get up. When I'm chanting, that happens.
Yeah, when you're chanting, sometimes we fall to sleep because we haven't slept well. Or, and then because once you have a small nap, you feel nice towards
It just closes for about a minute or
Yeah,
so.
even then too. That 1 minute is like sleeping for 100 years. It's like that. But if you see Krishna, that's possible. If you see Krishna, a vision of Krishna, that's also good.
Possible, yes.
Yeah, it's possible. But the thing is, it requires a lot of practice, and generally people who experience it won't tell it. Just like when you have that experience, you keep it. It's a loving exchange. You can't Just share it with people. It's between you and Krishna. So be fair. It's like that.
Maji runs a temple there. She's continuously with Krishna.
Yeah. Yeah, there must be, yes, for sure. Okay. So anything else, or is close up now? So all of you are chanting and beads? Chanting Salam? Yeah. What you doing? Working? What you do?
I work. Office job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Try to find time to chant, lunchtime or something, do 1-2 rounds. But have like a fixed number that you want to achieve. Try to do 2 at least every day, 2 every day, and then you pick it up slowly. Okay, so we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.